हम खाना ढूंढने जा रहे हैं। तुम सबको भूख लगी होगी ना? मैं आज तुम सबको चूहा पकड़ना सिखाऊंगी।
हाँ मम्मी, बहुत तेज भूख लगी है मुझे।
तो चलते रहो मेरे साथ खाना ढूंढने।
ओहो, इतनी सारी छोटी छोटी बिल्लियाँ, आज तो मजा ही आ गया मेरा। अब मैं चुपके से बिल्ली के सभी बच्चों को एक एक करके खा जाऊंगा।
अरे ओ बाबू, हमारे साथ साथ चल, ज्यादा पीछे मत चल, नहीं तो कुत्ते तुम्हें पकड़ लेंगे।
मम्मी, अगर कुत्ता यहाँ आ गया तो वो तो हम सबको खा जाएगा।
मेरे साथ रहो, कुत्ते तुम्हें कुछ नहीं कर पाएंगे, मैं तुम्हें बचा लूंगी।
अरे लेकिन उन बिल्लियों की माँ तो मुझे खाने नहीं देगी उन्हें, तो अब क्या करूं? हाँ, उनके पीछे पीछे चलता हूँ और जैसे ही मौका मिलेगा दबोच लूंगा एक बिल्ली के बच्चे को।
और कितना दूर तक जाना है खाना खाने मम्मी?
देखो वहाँ पर एक चूहा है, तुम जाओ और उसे पकड़ कर लेकर आओ, तब तुम सब आपस में मिल बांट कर खा लेना।
तुम देखो मम्मी, मैं कैसे उस चूहे को पकड़ता हूँ। अरे अरे, ये बिल्ली कहाँ से आ गई? अरे ये तो मुझे खाने के लिए आ रही है, भागो रे दादा।
ओहो, एक बिल्ली झुंड से अलग हो गई है। अब तो मैं उस बिल्ली के बच्चे को आसानी से पकड़ लूंगा। अब चलता हूँ उसे खाने, बड़ा मजा आएगा।
हुर हुर हुर, चल मेरा कार, हुर हुर हुर। बचाओ 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 मुझे इस बिल्ली से। अरे ये इतना मोटा चूहा कहाँ से आ गया? अरे वो तो मेरी ही तरफ आ रहा है। बचेगा नहीं तू चूहा, मैं तुझे पकड़ कर खा जाऊंगा।
अरे बिल्ली तो उस घर में घुस गई, अब कैसे खाऊं उसे? हाँ, चलता हूँ दरवाजे के पास छुप जाता हूँ और जैसे ही बिल्ली घर से बाहर आएगी खा जाऊंगा उसे।
अरे चूहा तो मेरे कच्छे में घुस गया। अरे निकल जा रे कमीना चूहा मेरे कच्छे में से। मम्मी जल्दी आओ।
अरे क्या हो गया बाबू, तू इतना चिल्ला क्यों रहा है?
मम्मी मम्मी, मेरे कच्छे में एक मोटा चूहा घुस गया है। और पता नहीं कहाँ कहाँ काट रहा है।
रुको, मैं इस पलटे से मारती हूँ उस चूहे को।
अरे मुझे क्यों मार रही हो मम्मी? चूहे को मारो ना।
अरे तू हिलना बंद करेगा तब तो चूहे को मारूंगी।
अब तू नहीं बचेगा चूहा। निकल गया चूहा मम्मी।
रुको, उसे घर से बाहर भगा देती हूँ मार कर।
हाँ जल्दी भगा उसे, नहीं तो ससुरा फिर से घुस जाएगा। अरे बाप रे, अब तो औरत भी पड़ गई मेरे पीछे। लगता है घर से बाहर भागना पड़ेगा।
चूहा तो चला गया, अब बिल्ली आएगी, झट से दबोच लूंगा उसे। अरे बाप रे, मार दी हलास।
अरे मैंने तो गलती से कुत्ते को मार दिया।
उस बिल्ली के चक्कर में पिट गया रे दादा। अब उस बिल्ली के बच्चे को छोड़ूंगा नहीं।
मुझे माफ कर देना कुत्ता, गलती से तुम्हें मार दिया। इतना देर हो गया और अभी तक वो लौंडा उस चूहे को पकड़ कर नहीं लाया। लगता है इन्हें और ज्यादा सिखाना पड़ेगा।
अब तू कहाँ बच के जाएगा चूहा? पकड़ा गया ना तू। नहीं नहीं, मुझे छोड़ दो, मुझे मत खाओ। मम्मी हमें चूहा पकड़ना सिखा रही है, तो मैं तो तुझे पकड़ूंगा ही। तो किसी और चूहे को पकड़ लो ना।
अच्छा, मुझे पिटवा कर बिल्ली वहाँ चूहे पकड़ रही है, अभी बताता हूँ उसे।
अब आ जा यहाँ मेरे पंजों में। छोड़ दो मुझे, मत खा मुझे बिल्ली। अब चल मेरे साथ तू वहाँ पर और भी बिल्लियाँ हैं, हम सब मिलकर तुम्हें खाएंगे। क्या? देखो तुम्हारे पीछे कुत्ता है।
तूने मुझे उस औरत से पिटवाया है, मैं तुझे छोड़ूंगा नहीं।
चूहा, मैं तो तुम्हें खाने वाली थी और तूने मुझे कुत्ते से बचाया। तो अब छोड़ दो मुझे। नहीं नहीं, तुझे छोड़ दिया तो मम्मी मुझे मारेगी। गिर गया।
जाओ, बच के जाओगे बिल्ली।
Tom and Jerry, the iconic cat and mouse duo created by William Hanna and Joseph Barbera, have entertained audiences for generations, and their legacy continues to grow as one of the most recognizable and beloved animated series in the world, a timeless comedy built on the endless chase between a determined but often unlucky cat named Tom and a clever, mischievous, and resourceful mouse named Jerry. The essence of their humor lies not in dialogue, because the characters rarely speak, but in their expressive faces, exaggerated reactions, physical comedy, and the universal appeal of slapstick humor, all of which transcend language, culture, and age, making the show enjoyable for children and adults alike. And what makes their dynamic so fascinating is the paradox that even though Tom and Jerry are natural enemies constantly chasing, tricking, and battling each other, they also share rare but meaningful moments of camaraderie, friendship, and mutual rescue when faced with bigger threats or emotional situations, which adds depth to their relationship and makes them more than just one-dimensional comedic characters. Over the decades, Tom and Jerry have appeared in hundreds of episodes, films, reboots, adaptations, and crossover projects that have expanded their world far beyond the original short films of the 1940s and 1950s, yet the fundamental heart of the series, namely the chase, the conflict, the creativity of their traps, and the imaginative slapstick, remains the same, proving that certain forms of humor are timeless and universal. And as animation evolved from hand-drawn cell animation to digital and computer-generated imagery, Tom and Jerry maintained their traditional charm even while adopting new visual styles, showing how adaptable the characters are without losing their signature identity that fans cherish. The original shorts, produced during the golden age of American animation, were masterfully crafted with remarkable attention to detail in timing, sound design, orchestration, and expressive movement, with each chase designed like a miniature ballet of chaos and precision, where every crash, bang, hit, chase, and fall was carefully choreographed to create both comedic rhythm and artistic brilliance, and this craftsmanship is one of the reasons the series won multiple Academy Awards and is considered one of the greatest animated creations of all time. Tom, often portrayed as the antagonist, is not simply a villain but a character driven by instinct, pride, and sometimes a desire for peace that is constantly disturbed by Jerry's cleverness, and despite his size advantage, Tom usually ends up being the victim of his own overconfidence, poor planning, or bad luck, which becomes a key aspect of the humor, as audiences enjoy watching the underdog Jerry outsmart the bigger, stronger cat using intelligence, creativity, and fearlessness, and Jerry, although frequently perceived as the hero, is not always innocent, as he sometimes provokes Tom without reason, steals food, sets traps, or simply plays tricks for fun, showing that the mouse, too, has a mischievous streak that adds layers to his personality, making him more dynamic than a simple victim escaping danger. The supporting cast, Spike the Bulldog, Tyke the Puppy, Toodles Galore the White Cat, Butch the Alley Cat, Nibbles Tuffy the Little Mouse, and even the frequently unseen Mammy Two Shoes, create additional dimensions in the universe of Tom and Jerry, each contributing to the different storylines and adding new forms of conflict, comedy, and alliances, such as when Tom must protect Spike's son Tyke, only to be punished for any disturbance, while Jerry takes advantage of the situation to torment Tom further, or when Tom competes with Butch for Toodles' affection, turning the romantic rivalry into a battleground of tricks, traps, and slapstick chaos that ends either in Tom's humiliation or in both cats suffering equally, all while Jerry watches with amusement. The show's ability to balance familiarity with endless creativity is one of the reasons it has survived for so long, because although many episodes share similar themes, like chasing, escaping, stealing food, hiding, or battling over territory, the execution is always fresh, inventive, and filled with imaginative scenarios that range from domestic chaos in the house to adventures at the beach, in the countryside, in the city, in museums, in laboratories, in outer space, and even in fantasy settings like medieval castles or fairy tale worlds, with each new environment giving Tom and Jerry additional opportunities to showcase their comedic chemistry in new ways. The series also reflects the evolution of animation styles and cultural norms, with the earliest episodes focusing solely on slapstick, the mid-century ones experimenting with more character interactions and orchestral scores, and the later adaptations introducing dialogue, more structured storylines, and modern humor, though opinions vary on whether the newer versions capture the spirit of the originals, with purists preferring the silent, expressive, and tightly choreographed shorts of the 1940s, while younger viewers often enjoy the more contemporary and colorful reboots. Regardless, Tom and Jerry remain cultural icons who have been referenced in countless forms of media, from advertisements and music videos to memes and internet humor, and the phrase, "like Tom and Jerry," has become a metaphor for people who constantly fight yet cannot live without each other. symbolizing relationships filled with rivalry, closeness, competition, frustration, and affection, all blended into one of the most enduring fictional pairings ever created. Their impact on global pop culture is enormous, as almost every country in the world has aired the show in some form, and despite minimal dialogue, the characters are instantly recognizable by their design, colors, personalities, and movements, proving that great storytelling does not always require words, only strong characters, imaginative scenarios, and emotional expressiveness. For many viewers, Tom and Jerry evoke nostalgia and memories of childhood mornings spent watching cartoons, laughing at exaggerated chases, marveling at the creativity of the traps, and feeling sympathy for Tom even when he deserved the consequences of his own schemes. And the emotional connection to these characters is so strong that even today, adults rewatch the classic episodes and still laugh as much as they did years ago, which speaks to the unbeatable charm of the series. The episodes often carry subtle messages about persistence, intelligence, overconfidence, consequences of actions, and the cycle of competition, yet they never preach or moralize, instead focusing on pure comedy driven by physical performance and visual timing, which is why they resonate across generations without feeling outdated or restricted to a particular era. Tom and Jerry also highlight the artistry of non-verbal storytelling, demonstrating that facial expressions, body movements, timing, and sound effects can convey emotions more effectively than dialogue, and this approach inspired many animators, directors, and creators around the world to experiment with visual-driven storytelling, slapstick humor, and exaggerated animation techniques that prioritize performance over speech. Their influence can be seen in later works such as Looney Tunes, Pink Panther, modern slapstick cartoons, comedic video games, and even CGI films that mimic the fast, chaotic energy of the classic chases. In addition to the comedic brilliance, Tom and Jerry also evoke emotional moments in certain episodes, like when Tom sings the famous song, "As You Is or As You Ain't My Baby," or when Jerry comforts Tom after a heartbreak, or when both unite to protect a baby, or when they team up for survival in an unfamiliar environment, moments that remind viewers that beneath the constant conflict lies a complex relationship built on rivalry, companionship, and mutual dependence, because Tom without Jerry would be purposeless, and Jerry without Tom would lack his primary challenge, making them incomplete without each other. The longevity of Tom and Jerry is also a result of strong musical direction, as the series often relied on orchestra-driven soundscapes that perfectly match the movements, actions, and moods of each scene, creating a form of visual music where each footstep, chase, crash, stretch, fall, or comedic pause corresponded to musical cues, making the episodes feel like animated symphonies of chaos and rhythm. This blend of music and motion is a hallmark of classic animation and remains one of the reasons Tom and Jerry shorts feel so refined and artistically impressive even today. As generations grow up with technology, smartphones, streaming platforms, and changing entertainment habits, Tom and Jerry continue to find new audiences on YouTube, digital apps, television reruns, and streaming services, ensuring that children of the present and future will experience the same laughter and joy that earlier generations did, proving that certain forms of humor never go out of style. The characters have also appeared in feature films that expand their world with longer narratives, such as Tom and Jerry, the movie, Tom and Jerry, The Fast and the Furry, Tom and Jerry, A Nutcracker Tale, and the hybrid live-action animated Tom and Jerry 2021, each introducing the duo to new formats and storytelling approaches, though the heart of the comedic chase remains at the core of every adaptation, reinforcing the idea that no matter how much technology or storytelling trends change, Tom and Jerry's identity is built on the simplicity and universality of their rivalry. In many ways, Tom and Jerry represent eternal themes of conflict and competition that are playful rather than malicious, and their exaggerated battles, although violent in a cartoonish way, are ultimately consequences-free and symbolic, never causing permanent harm or realistic injury, but rather serving as a vehicle for comedy through timing, exaggeration, and absurdity. And this is why parents across generations have allowed children to watch the show despite the slapstick violence, because it is clearly unrealistic, stylized, and performed with comedic intent rather than malice, and the characters always return to normal in the next scene or episode. The behind-the-scenes history of Tom and Jerry is equally fascinating, involving shifts between studios, changes in directors, controversies about certain portrayals, and debates about modernization. Yet through all these challenges the core duo survived, adapting to each new phase of animation history while preserving the charm that made them legendary. The series has won multiple Oscars and earned its place in animation history as one of the finest examples of visual comedy, iconic character design, and timeless storytelling ever created, influencing not only cartoons but also humor traditions around the world. Ultimately, Tom and Jerry remain a testament to the power of animation to create universal emotions and connections, showing that two characters chasing each other endlessly can symbolize rivalry, friendship, persistence, creativity, and the joyful chaos of life itself, and as long as people continue to laugh, appreciate clever storytelling, and enjoy the beauty of animated slapstick, Tom and Jerry will continue to occupy a permanent place in the hearts of audiences everywhere, living on as one of the greatest duos in entertainment history.